All right. Hello, everybody. And we have a bit of a nice stream for you guys today. I want to be solo casting. My name is Hortluz. And today we're going to be casting our Kappa Corp team versus the late rotations team. This is an SCL match, and it should be a good time for everybody. Yeah, we have a bit of a almost late start there, but hey, we're perfectly fine. First ban for late rotations is going to be Opwash. Very standard ban, nothing really much to see here. And we have Athena, Opwash, Raijin, Poseidon. Looking to get that global rotation for that easy support out of the way, and looking to get rid of all of those mage solos that will always cause everyone a pain. And honestly, I'm seeing some decent bands here. These are all some decent good bands. They're all some just overall decent and competitive Smite so far. Now, the Thor I'm interested in. This means to me that they're looking for maybe some global rotations, and they want Bog, or the next best thing. And Kappa Corp, seeing that, they're going to just ban out the Bog. So let's see what late rotations first pick is going to end up being. And it's the Baba Yaga. You know, I am not a big fan of this pick after her nerfs, and I think prioritizing it this high up might be a bit of an intriguing strategy. Maybe they know that Kappa Corp likes to play it, but still relatively safe god, good safety in the item selection, and good still stacking with the prophetic cloak. But giving Kappa Corp Ganesh and Ishtar a very powerful duo lane, not something I would necessarily want if I was the late rotations team. So already we got a powerful duo lane for Kappa Corp and a mid that, quite frankly, I'm of the opinion that if there is a Baba Yaga, I need to see it first, and, well, we'll see. We'll see if this late rotations team has been practicing the Baba Yaga. We'll see if they are really comfortable with it. This is going to be the real tell on this team. And Ratatosker for their top two. I personally like this pick. Ratatosker, good jungle presence, good global, semi-global rotations, and it's especially good when you have Shibalanke with that Ratatosker. Shibalanke ult, Ratatosker ult is a tale as old as time. Not necessarily, but a tale as old as these two have been played together. You give the good old blindness to the enemy, and then you give a good old rat ult right on top of that carry. Persephone in top 3 is interesting. Now, with all of the mage solos going around, I am of the firm opinion that Persephone works better with the solo build. So we shall see if this ends up working out for Kappa Corp and how they would like to actually play their game. Hey, food. And we're starting to see some decent support bans. Geb, Kepri, two very standard supports. I'm a bit confused about the Geb ban, but they probably have a strategy going in place. Hoonbots, good teamfight ultimate, great with Persephone Ishtar, good lockdown, good CC. It's almost exactly what I would have liked Kappa Corp to grab, but there are quite a few other picks that end up working out just as well. I mean, so I believe in Geb, I just don't believe that Geb is quite that same level that we want him to be. And Thanatos. So the Thanatos ban, I am a bit confused by. That being said, I'm not overly confused by it. Thanatos, strong early pressure, good late game pressure as well, good pick potential, good CC, good initiation. Overall, just a valuable pick. But what I don't like about it, It might be a Pepper special, but I've seen Pepper on Rat. Alright, that's all I've seen him on. The only thing I don't like about that ban is I would have preferred it if they picked the Khepri third. That's all. If they picked Khepri third and banned the Thana and the last ones, I would have loved it, but I'm not particularly hurt by it one way or the other. Now, Nike tells me that this Persephone is in fact going to be going to the mid lane, which I believe is, funnily enough, Hunter, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while. I know ZXZ is going to be on Ishtar. I have actually played with him on this pick. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. So I'm expecting a Pele then, is what you're trying to tell me. As it looks like we're going to have some standard Smite game this time. No mage solos. It's going to be 2 warriors in the solo lane. Kakolian versus Nike is a matchup that I don't particularly favor one way or the other, depending on how they play it. But Nike, definitely a stronger pick overall. And especially towards the late game team fight, I imagine disrupting that Xbalanque will be a top priority. Now, Charon Xbalanque versus Ishtar Ganesh is a interesting duo lane matchup, and I expect to see some fireworks happen over in duo. I'm expecting some early aggression, especially from this Ratatosker. I'm expecting some early fights, possibly an early first blood in this duo lane. For either side, it could go either way. It fully depends on how Xbalanque Charon play into this Ishtar Ganesh. Ishtar Ganesh should have the clear advantage, first wave, maybe first 2. But it's all hypothetical at this point. We need to see some play on field, and that's certainly what we will be seeing as soon as Pepper decides to lock in his pick. I'm hoping that this Nike does not go to the jungle. Arachne. And the Arachne lock-in. Okay. So, I am now very concerned on where our corporation is currently heading. I'm very interested to see how these 2 teams will end up playing this arguably intriguing composition. The thing I do not like is the Arachne. I think it kind of comes out of left field. I would have preferred a bit more CC on the side of red team. Their only real big form of CC initiation is going to be that Persephone ult. Now, Dharmic Pillars does have quite a large bit of crowd control and good area denial. But in terms of actual heavy CC, it's really just Persephone Ishtar. And that's not something you want to see from a team. You want your jungler to be able to have that start out initiation and try to blow out the game. Also, I think that's SP now joining me on the cast. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's been a while. I heard you guys unfortunately got second in that AGL finals.
Yeah, AA was having some really bad connection issues. Man had like 150 ping, like the whole set. So it is what it is. If you want to share your screen.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I got you. Yeah. There you go.
I appreciate that.
As you can tell, we're obviously professionals here. I forgot which button it was. Nope. Nope, that's a screenshot.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
There is a button that will assist us eventually in getting through our thick skulls that maybe we shouldn't be here.
I see what you're talking about. They do have an interesting team comp, Red Team.
Yeah, I'm specifically interested in how Red Pepper is going to play on this Arachne. Now, Arachne is a extremely potent pub stomp type of character in casuals and ranked games. She can catch people off guard extremely easily. However, I do not like how... Haha! Thanks, chat. I appreciate it. I don't like how she plays in competitive. I don't necessarily think she fits into this team comp very well either. I would have preferred something with maybe a bit more CC, a bit more control. That being said, if they're looking to get some early aggression and some early kills from this Arachne, I'm not too pressed about it.
I do agree with that. So is this a league match or is this a scrim?
Yes, it's SCL. It's an SCL match. I'm not quite sure which one SCL is.
Yeah, me neither.
But I do know it is a match, and it should be a good time.
Interesting that Arachne is choosing to go with the bow start. I've been noticing a lot of AA gods are just going straight into Atalanta's bow. What are your thoughts on that?
So, my opinion on Atalanta's bow might differ a bit from other people in the Smite scene. I think it's an extremely potent and valuable item. I actually think it does quite a bit more for a team than people give it credit for, especially on characters like Arachne, Kali, Nim, because Golden Blade isn't necessary. Golden Blade used to be necessary on those characters to assist in clear, but that's no longer the case now that Gooseberries. But hold on, we have a bit. No sparks in mid. Got some sparks in solo lane though. Sorry, hold on. We're adjusting.
I think I've scrimmed this team. At least the rat
I do know Promosis. I'm aware of Promosis. I don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know if Rat is on a different... If he just went on a different team, but... That name is very familiar, but I feel like...
I've seen him around in our Discord a few times. I've seen the name Rat Tackler. That being said, I don't quite know what to expect from him. I haven't seen him play. I haven't gotten the chance to talk or play with him at all. But I'm expecting some good Smite.
Absolutely. And what level of... Is this like a plat level?
This is gold plat, based on what I have been told.
Gold plat. Okay, so...
Looks like there's already some poke battles happening in mid, and don't step up, Baba.
Ooh.
Oh, Red Pepper, unfortunately, a bit too ambitious with the sun. Doesn't actually get the chance to pull that one off. But that's okay. But as we were talking about with the Atalanta bow and the golden gooseberries, right? Golden Blade no longer being necessary means that a stronger starting power item is necessary. And the way to complement that is Atalanta bow. That item gives 35 physical power, which is more than Executioner and Kinsize. It gives more attack speed and flat pin. Flat pin being one of the best ways to bridge an early game towards a late game. It's one of the best ways for early penetration in the game. And that item is completely, quite frankly, overstated right now, but it needs to be. Because it's more or less just a stat stick. It doesn't do anything else. But yeah, I do have some sparks flying in duo. A little bit of a fight that ends up in Kappa Corp's favor, from the looks of it. Oh, no. A horrific 4 shell is what it looks like. Oh, no! Baba Yaga gets the kill onto the solo side of Kappa Corp. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a rewind back, so that way we can see exactly what happens to Pepper. From the looks of it, he tries going for a blue invade. And Baba Yaga just happens to get the rotation. Oh, with all of his abilities down, too. That's interesting.
Very unfortunate timing. I mean, I think if he sees the rat, he just leaves.
He does get the blue, to be fair, but he does unfortunately get killed by the Baba Yaga rotation.
I don't know if that's worth personally.
Definitely not for First Blood, especially because Loshak's now going to get his blue taken. Oh, just kidding. Loshak manages to secure the blue with the cleave auto attack. That is brutal for late rotations. Obviously late in that rotation. Oh man, that is brutal.
And
As Loshak starting to bully the Cocoin, as you should.
Yeah, and I definitely like this Nike pick.
Yes,
Nike does. I have been playing a little bit of Nike recently. She does have very, very good crowd control, and she's just a nuisance.
No, I have to agree. I love this Nike pick. I especially love her into mage solos, actually.
Yeah, which I'm surprised no one opted to go. Well, I do know Rat, and he personally does not like going mage solo. So I think it was just a respect thing that they were just going to.
Not
maybe
quite.
it was an agreement.
Not quite. If we look at the bans, late rotations actually banned out the two best mage solos, and the other one was taken away by Kappa Corp.
Yeah, I do see that. Interesting.
Looks like Pepper is getting gone on again.
Oh, wow.
And Pepper is going to die.
Oh, whoa.
Never mind. Panty Raiders 9 ends up whiffing
What
the
was the
ultimate.
rat doing? He was so late. He could have just stayed in the air for a little bit. What is he doing?
You know, that's what we like to call a slip of the mouse, maybe a bit of a button press gone wrong.
Maybe he was anticipating the only thing I could think of is he was anticipating Arachne falling a little bit sooner and meeting her at the end of it. I don't know, but that I'm shocked.
You know, I would be more shocked about it, but what I'm more honestly shocked about is the fact that Red Pepper is up. After getting first blooded by the Baba, Red Team is just up all across the board.
Yeah,
Looks
it
like
looks
they
like he
are
just
still
turned.
bullying the soulless side of the map.
Yeah, and it looks like, the Arachne did become Farmer Joe, as I like to call it, just farming away.
As you should as Arachne, realistically. You're
Yeah.
looking to farm, get the first item online probably, and then you look to just kill.
And it's, you know what, I've been seeing a lot of Persephone lately too in like my ranking casual games. Is she coming back for some reason? Because I remember before she used to just not benefit anything.
I
to her team.
believe we can thank FinoK for this hell that we have experienced now. Literally, because it is Persephone. But he was the one that brought Persephone out in the SPL, and specifically in solo lane. I was fully expecting this Persephone to go solo lane when it was picked top 3. I think Persephone works much better with that build, where you go the Vamp Shroud Pythags build. As you do have a bit of Sparks flying in duo, as Ganesh looking for an invade.
And he just dashes out. Wow, he is so
Well, he doesn't quite get the dash out, as Baba Yaga does have to use Home Sweet Home to secure this kill onto Hunter the Ganesh.
And Rat does get the kill. Interesting.
Yeah, Rat
So
ends up
kind of
securing that one.
Kind of a wasted ult for the Baba, in my opinion.
I don't know if I agree with that. It's to make sure that the kill does end up getting secured, and I can respect the effort upon it. Right? But giving your Rat, who was even slightly down from the Arachne, now has more XP than Red Pepper. Honestly, probably more beneficial for late rotations. Let's go ahead and take a look at... Oops, nope, that's not the right one. Don't mind me, we're trying to find the right button here. There it is.
Yeah.
Haha. Yeah, unfortunately Arachne, the lowest gold on the map.
Something you don't want to see.
But what we really don't want to see is this Ratatosker going on to this Ishtar, and the late beads from Ishtar not managing to get the escape. And the Rat missed dash. I just assumed that Pepper didn't see the rattle, or didn't hear it. As now Pepper's getting chased out by the Oh, wait.
Does he have
And he
blink?
gets
He
the
has
blink.
blink, he blinks
But
out.
it doesn't matter.
Oh
As blink
my
for
God.
blink, the rat was better.
I was gonna be dumped out if he got out a second time. I would be like, okay, this rat needs to work on his rat. Rat must have ulted like a little bit away because blue
So
Fallen does have wards covering
we did
that area.
see
So.
where the rat ended up. That's just, you stayed too long. You decided to get a bit greedy there, rat, and you got a Persephone ult to the dome. That's how it be sometimes. That do in fact be how it is.
Yeah, this is a very, very
Brawly game.
Yeah, like
Very
almost like an arena
scrappy,
game.
very brawly. Which I am perfectly content for this level of play. I think if you aren't scrapping or trying to scrap, you honestly aren't trying to play a bit more to your potential, especially with these team comps, right? I'm expecting Rat to be much more scrappy than he currently is. I know he's 3-1, right? Well, how much more could he do? But I need to see these rotations come through a bit earlier, if possible, from this Rat. And I need to see Arachne trying to go for more one-on-one picks, right?
Oh, and she's getting.
Oh, no.
Arachne ult out away, so she does keep her life.
Arachne just wanted to make sure that they got the gooseberries online. You know, I can respect that, as they do need that help clearing. But now we see the both teams heading towards the shield buff, looking to try to secure it. That's just overall the play right now. That protection buff being much more impactful.
Oh, there's the rat ult.
Oh,
There's the
that's
Expo
the rat.
ult. So many ults.
That's all 4 ultimates for the Arachne. But oh
There's a
my
Ganesha
god,
ult, and there's
it
a
was a
Persephone ult.
beautiful, beautiful team fight turnaround from Kappa Corp, managing to
Wow.
get a return kill onto the enemy jungler and getting out.
And it looks like Kakolin was starting to rotate, but it looks like he's kind of backing off now. Nike is stealing their yellow Tiki. Is I don't know.
Yeah,
what it's
it
really
looks
called.
like the Tiki. It's the Tiki
Okay.
buffs.
And oh, he's gonna steal blue as well. So that is kind of huge for
Yeah, that's
Lishak, in my opinion.
a bit interesting rotation-wise from this Kakolin. I think maybe what his team was trying to... Kakolin does end up managing to secure his own blue buff.
Wow.
And, you know, you gotta throw in a little bit of a laugh.
Ooh, I don't like the BM. That's just me personally. It's like, I get it. Yeah.
It depends on who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
It does definitely depend, and a little bit of laughter could definitely ease some trying times. But that rotation is a bit interesting. That, to me, tells a story of blue team trying to go for the Gold Fury, but maybe just not being communicated correctly on where the Nike was rotating, maybe not having the rat rotated, or having the rat
What is
communicated.
Arachne doing? Arachne's been by the fire giant for quite a while now. Just kind of.
The Arachne was looking to gank solo lane. They cleared out a ward. And it looked like they were now trying to go onto this Charon. This is what I need to see from the Arachne. I need to see the Arachne positioned in a way to take out these solo supports and these solo tanks that are just
Arachne
pushing
is
up
going
by
high,
themselves.
and they looks like they don't have.
I
vision
think
for
Pepper is trying to find anyone, but unfortunately Rat got the site first. As that it's a Charon ult, that's a huge Charon ult and a huge Rat ult to get himself out, because oh my god, that was a lot of damage. But overall, it just turns out to be a beacon fight. With the solo laner starting to rotate in though, I'm expecting to see a bit more from Kappa Corp, especially towards these ultimates being used. That was Persephone and Home Sweet Home, and the Ishtar rotating out before the Shablanque is absolutely huge for red team. And that's even worse, as Nike, the most annoying character in the game. Oh.
I don't know if you saw it, but Nike kept pushing back the Kakolin, and you just constantly just saw Kakolin just running back as Nike was just being a nuisance. And I can see why you like the Nike pick here, because Nike can be very annoying, and she can fit a lot of team comps.
You know, she fits into quite a few team comps as just a good frontline body. and she is extremely annoying to the enemy ADC. Those two things combined makes her an extremely potent value pick, as red team doesn't even notice that the blue team is just going to take this Pyromancer for free.
Yeah, but they did get the Gold Fury, so...
They did get the gold, they got a
mind
huge
it.
team fight, and they do have the gold advantage. Almost about 3.5k in the lead for Kappa Corp.
Yeah, XP is not too crazy. I mean, it is around hovering just under 2,500, and the next gold was around 35, if I saw it correctly. So this now they're getting really scrappy. What's the? Is this like a best of 3? Like a
Yes,
one and
this is a best of 3 match for SCL. I don't know what SCL is. I don't know what it stands for. I didn't get that information. But what I do know is that XP lead that we saw, you know, that about 1.5k XP lead. The important part from it is where those leads are coming through and how you can play around them. So we see the real place that blue team has the lead is in jungle. That's a 2-level lead for the Ratatosker compared to the Arachne. This is what I expected, honestly, going into it, as, hold on, we do have a bit of a scrap on the shield buff, as Charon is just going to die here. There isn't much you can do, buddy. It's just, you got hit with a big mass of brambles. You know, you could call that a bramble blast, but I don't see a CERN in this game.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I can see why now a lot of people are going with Persephone, because the only thing I did notice with her that is really annoying is her ultimate. It can literally just shut someone down. And but it looks like Arachne is going to die for that.
Arachne is going to die for the speed invade, but you have to respect the attempt. As I do see, okay, so now that I'm looking closer at this Baba Yaga's build, as Fallen, the Persephone ends up getting the red buff.
And it looks like
he's going to die. That's an unfortunate Aegis used, but not needed. As now Loshak is rotating in from solo lane, trying to just harass. Maybe it was an attempt to get the Persephone out, which is, you gotta love the attempt, but Persephone going a bit too far. And getting punished for it. Unfortunately, Loshak not pulling that back camp. It's truly a shame. But I really want to talk about kind of how we expected this to go and where these leads are actually forming. So now a 1-level lead in both carry roles and a 2-level lead in solo. Now this 2-level lead, I'm sorry, about 1.5 now, given how the Kakol lane has ended up leveling up. But this is more or less what I expected from the solo lane. Nike, just a much safer and easier character to poke out the enemies with and to harass and to farm, obviously. But it's a lot more interesting to me on this half-level lead in duo. I didn't see much fighting over there, except for this Arachne trying to steal literally every buff. You know, I hate to say it, but I think maybe the proactive play on this one... Oh my god! As Ishtar manages to almost absolutely demolish this rat in a 1v3. Very close, but no cigar. I'm fully expecting a bit more, honestly, from this Arachne. If you're going to last pick it, you're going to pick it for Pepper. I expect a little bit more, a little bit better mechanical play, more likely than not, as we do have a Gold Fury being looked at. Go ahead and take it away, buddy.
Okay, it seems like... I'm really bad at this because there's so much going on. It's like the Baba Yaga gets...
You know, I tend to agree. It looks like Rat managed to sneak around the back of the fight. Manages to take out the Ishtar. Yep. Loshak does end up trading Baba for Ishtar. which is a great time, as he's now looking to harass the rat, but unfortunately, the Persephone will fall because of it. Now this is a 2-for-1 in favor of late rotations, as it's just the tanks and the jungler alive. But we get to see the Persephone managing to rotate through over to the beacon, trying to plant their flowers.
Right. Yeah, there was so much going on. There was like so many different fights, and I noticed like even because I'm at this level as well, like at the lower levels.
Oh no, we went in as Arachne with their ultimate. Yeah, so this is what the problem with Arachne is, right? Especially in competitive play. It's very similar to Maman Brigitte in playstyle. For Maman Brigitte, you are a character that doesn't have much utility, but you have a lot of damage. Your entire goal is to try to kill people. Arachne does the same thing, but the problem is Arachne only has single target DPS.
Yeah, and I think I just say Mana or
yeah,
Mama.
Maman
I personally think she does more damage than the Arachne.
Yes, she does. And also, I do want to point out, Maman Brigitte was not banned this set. Sorry, this game.
Maybe Pepper just wasn't comfortable with it. Because I know a lot of people are still trying to get a feel for the god, and she has been released for quite a while now. But now it seems like that gold lead earlier now is slowly. Now it's not even existing.
Well, it's still 1.5k in favor of Kappa Corp, which honestly I think is a testament to how far ahead they were. That was a Gold Fury and a Pyromancer for late rotations, and still only about 1.4k. Sorry, still 1.4k ahead for Kappa Corp.
It seems like Arachne is going on the Kakolin, and there's also there's so many different fights going on. There's a fight going on in Min, but it seems like he backed off.
Yeah, it almost looked like it wasn't Arachne going on Kakolin. It almost looked like Kakolin going on Arachne. Unfortunately, as we do have this mid-fight, Karen using ult to try to disengage and manages to get his team out. Beloshak trying to wrap around, looking for this Baba Yaga. And he does manage to stop the back.
That's so annoying to deal with when you're just trying.
It's definitely annoying, but I wouldn't say that's the correct play. As we do now have this fight happening in mid, Rat and Shibble ult looking to pop out, as now Rat dies. There isn't much you can do. It's the same thing with the Arachne, right? If you dive into 4 or 5 people, you are going to lose that engagement. As Kakolin with Thorns.
I feel like Kakolin needed to be in the back line to help the Rat out. He was just in the front. I mean, I get, like, obviously, solo laners are the frontliners, but still, like, Kakolin to me is a dive character. You're diving the back line.
You know, I tend to agree. I think Kakolin should have dove with the Rat, but I think the problem comes in with how much area control Red Team does have with this Persephone and Ganesh. And the threat of Ishtar. As it looks like now Red Team looking at this Gold Fury, looking to bait out this Gold Fury specifically. They aren't actually looking for the objective, they're looking to try to pick out a fight.
But I don't think late rotation wants anything to do with it. Maybe they might.
Oh, they definitely do. As SB's Aegis on Shablanke, as he almost got picked out.
Nike ult, and seems like now he's gonna get a free Gold Fury, maybe.
Nope, it looks like a disengage. As the Ganesh does need to end up backing, and Rat is looking for someone. Likely going to end up being the Nike, as he does get the stun off. But Persephone ends up getting caught in too. But it looks like Nike going to be just fine, able to get out. Arachne forced into the ultimate.
Yep, that is. And now late rotation going for the Gold Fury. This is just so back and forth. And do they get there in time? I mean, it's close.
They do, but they don't get there fast enough. As Loshak wrapping around the back, looking for more of this team. And it looks like Kakolin going to be the sacrificial lamb. And being led directly to the slaughter. And Fallen ended up taking that kill. Sorry, ZXZ. Taking that kill. As now the rest of Red Team is looking to collapse onto the Rat. But Rat with a beautiful blink to get out with his life. But Red Team I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the fire giant here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, are they setting up for fire? It seems like they want to. Yet Loshak is pressuring them out.
Loshak's looking to zone, and it actually looks like they're going for waves instead. That's a Spartan flag. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Spartan flag. If you go that starter, you go the other one.
Yeah, so War Banner, definitely a better starter overall. It's better statted for supports, it's able to get more sustain, and it gives more movement speed, which is the most important stat in this game, period.
Absolutely. But I personally, I'm a Sentinel's Embrace kind of guy. When I play support, I just like going to Sentinel's Embrace and going into, I can't remember the blue one. What is it called?
Sentinels, oh god.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah, no, so it's Sentinel's Embrace, Boone is the orange, and I'm forgetting the other one off the top of my head. This is really bad. I just got moved to support, too. I should know this one.
Yeah, but Persephone is getting low, but she's still not backing. She's kind of just staying in, I guess.
Looks like she's trying to get farm, trying to possibly farm up for 20. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get there. But,
interesting of looking at the ADC builds. They're very interesting. One went XD and one went Dominance. I prefer Kins. They both went Kins. Interesting.
So there is a lot of tankiness on this team. There's a lot of extremely healthy targets. Oh my god, it's just a beautiful snipe from this Persephone to kill the rat.
Yeah.
As now the rest of the team is wrapping around, the rest of Kappa Corp wrapping around looking for each of these high-value targets, specifically looking at this Xbalanque, as Fallen is the first on his team in, looking to get a kill onto this Xbalanque, and Hunter ends up securing it for the Arachne. Arachne looking to ult him, and looking to be a slippery spider.
Oh, is she going to lose her life for it? No, she
does not. As now the rest of Red Team looking to try to clean up a bit more of those kills, and it looks like Baba and Charon both falling.
Wow, this is an interesting.
It's scrappy.
This is very interesting. I wonder what both teams are going to do. Are they going to slow it down game 2, or are they just going to keep up this same exact pace?
Honestly, I'm expecting a faster paced game 2. That tends to be how these sets tend to go. Blue team has a beautiful early game that they end up having a decent lead with. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to push that farther in game. Trying to use that early game advantage, that early game prowess that they showed over.
Trying to be sneaking in, and that is gonna most likely die for it. Yeah, Loshak does get the kill, and Kappa Corp does secure it, and they do get Kakolan as well. So this, do you end here or no? There's too many towers up.
No, there are too many towers up, and Titans are out of base. However, you do try to push for this left Phoenix. Now, this being the least valuable Phoenix on the map, but a Phoenix is a Phoenix, and you're already grouped as 5. You might as well go in. And now Pepper looking to wrap around, trying to catch out and blink over this wall. Unfortunately for him, no one's quite falling for it. But Baba is going to get gone on.
He does it anyways. He does it anyway.
He does do it anyway, and the team gets the Phoenix, and they all get out for free.
That was just, the Phoenix was there 1 minute, and then the other second, it was gone.
So that's why we like the Dominance. Dominance allowing this 20% additional pin on all of your auto attacks does apply onto structures. Execution, on the other hand, will definitely make you hurt a bit more for those gods that you're trying to fight. But it doesn't quite do as much to structures, and that's why, especially with this kind of hybrid crit build, Dominance is definitely the way to go.
And it's interesting, I'm not a fan of the arrow build. I'm more of a fan of what X-Ball is doing, or going the other, or the Hunters.
So I do think that Fallen could have benefited from the cowl. However, I don't mind the arrow for Ishtar in particular. Ishtar is one of those characters that does most definitely scale through her auto attacks a lot more with her
especially that
arrows.
Shotgun. That shotgun blast, it's like, it does a lot of damage.
So I wouldn't necessarily even say that the shotgun autos are going to be the best part of this. Realistically, the storm autos, that very fast-paced, long-range snipe auto, that's just better Hachiman 1. Let's be honest with ourselves here.
That is true. That is true. But
doesn't
doesn't it
do more.
reduce the crit damage? I thought
No. So it does reduce auto attack damage.
that's what it is.
It does reduce auto attack damage to 80%. However, that can be somewhat counteracted with the fact that this gives you 60 basic attack damage flat. But more importantly, is the increased gold that I personally like. Just a passive, all increased by 5%. You can't necessarily go wrong with it. Also,
it seems like everyone on the Kappa Corp side is level 20 besides the Ganesh, but on late rotation, they're still struggling to get everyone to level 20.
and that's what a Fire Giant, a full tower wipe, and a Left Phoenix will do for you, for Kappa Corp. It's all of that group objective, group XP, group gold that causes this lead to start to flourish a bit more. I do see that Pepper is trolling a little bit. Decided to get a red pot, a 500 pot. But I can't blame him too hard. As just Ganesh Ohm forces out Home Sweet Home from Baba Yaga, catching out that dash, trying to force some more safety. Also,
this Phoenix is going to be...
this Phoenix should be shredded, but unfortunately it doesn't quite allow for it, as now Persephone is getting gone on by the rat and the Kukulin. But a beautiful Aegis lets Persephone live! That's a beautifully timed Aegis, an unfortunate ability usage for late rotation that causes all of this.
Completely changed it.
Yeah, ZXZ turns around the team fight by using that.
And that's what I like about the Ishtar too. Ishtar's ultimate is very, very strong for an ADC compared to other ADCs.
So, I like to call Ishtar Ultimate a better Medusa Ultimate. They have a very similar cone ability, but the stun is not reliant on a directional location, right? It's not reliant on them looking at you. It's purely reliant on hitting both of those swords, the swing forward and swing back. And it's much easier to do that whenever you're fighting in these corridors.
Right. Man, looking at the stats, the only person who did well on late rotation was that rat, but he did have a really good early lead, but late game, he just kind of got shut down.
So, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that, but what I do agree with is, I think that Kukulin, while he did show some prowess in the fact that he was playing Kukulin, he needed to be diving a lot more with that Ratatosker, allowing for a bit more disruption in the backline. And I need to see Red Pepper on that, something that is not Arachne. This Arachne didn't do it for me. I don't think it did it for the team. I don't think it did it for the team member in chat, Geo. I don't think it did it for anybody.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the Arachne. He was like, 1 in 5 in the first, 15 minutes? 12 minutes?
Something like that.
It was...
Sorry. As the game went later on, Arachne ended up causing a bit more chaos, which is what you want your Arachne to do. But I didn't like it. So Kappa Corp did end up winning. It's currently 1-0 in their favor for this league match.
And Loshak, we needed to talk to him about those ward situation. I mean, look at Rat, he had 17 wards. I think maybe he overwarded a little bit.
I think the Kukulin overwarded, but that was to make up for the Ratatosker's lack of wards, which is unfortunate, right? That being said, I think the Kukulin had an interesting build, and I need them to not prioritize this Baba Yaga for late rotations. To bring this to Game 3, they need to not play the Baba Yaga and not play the Kukulin. Everything else I was perfectly content with. Baba put out damage, don't get me wrong, but it was not at a point in the game where they wanted to play around. if they were even a Discordia, which is a bit weird, don't get me wrong, but allowing Discordia to let Rat play more and have more damage opportunities, honestly probably would have done this specific team a lot better. Or the Shablanque, which Shablanque was top damage on his team.
I mean, it's correct. Come on, you just get free damage. Let's be honest here.
Oh, I don't know
Especially
if I agree with that, but
But no one went Spectral on the other side, and Kukulkan did opt in to go Spectral, and no one else went Spectral. Oh, I didn't see that. There was... Interesting. I've been noticing, too, that Spectral armor, even though people do get it, it's... When you're going crit, you still shred.
So the point of Spectral Armor is to reduce the critical strike damage on your carries. It's a decent stat stick, right? 50 physical protections it is not anything to scoff at. However, it's this aura that allows all of your allied gods to take less from crit. That's really the beneficial part of Spectral Armor. Which is why I would have preferred it on this Charon, not on the Kukulkan. Now, Kukulkan did need it too, but Charon needed it for his backline. That last triple kill we saw from Kappa Corp was purely on the back of this team not being able to group around a Spectral. And Ishtar having the Deathbringer online.
Yeah, and X-Ball not having it, still having the gooseberries. Guess he was probably waiting to get the item in full.
So the problem with the crit tree, specifically Deathbringer, Demon Blade, Rage, and Boomerang, is Short Sword is by far the worst T2 item in the game. Hands down. It offers you 25 physical power, that's it. Nothing else.
That is fair.
It doesn't do much for you.
Denny did not think about that.
As we will go, I'm going to go ahead and try to get into the spectate queue for game 2. But let's talk about what went well for both these teams, right? The Rat did extremely well.
Agreed.
The Baba, while they were a bit lacking in what I would like, they did pump out a lot of damage. Almost got a few kills here and there. And the same with the Shablanque. Pumped out a lot of damage. Tried to find some form of secure or safety for his team, trying to lead them through. But unfortunately just was not able to take out any of these tankier targets. And that's what I think the real problem was. It's just they were too tanky, too fast.
I've never thought of it that way. And I think on the side of Kappa Corp, their mid laner was insane with that Persephone. Like, those snipes were impressive. And we are going into the picks and bans. Oh, wow, we're a little...
We're a little behind. We're a little behind, but we can talk about it a bit more. So it looked like same bans from game 1, Alpwash, Raijin, Athena, Poseidon. But instead of banning away the Thor from Red Pepper, they ban out the Chernobog. Which in
makes
turn,
sense.
It looked like Kappa Corp thought that the Shablanque was the problem for that team last game. And they decided that, hey, we want to ban the Shablanque. What I don't like is this first pick, Thanatos. That is disrespectful to this Ganesh, who had a huge impact. And in fact, I would argue it's more disrespectful to Fallen, who had a phenomenal game on this Persephone.
Charybdis. Okay.
So they met disrespect with disrespect. Charybdis, one of the worst hunters in the game, hands down. But she does do something very well. Early pressure. She has a lot of early pressure. She has a lot of early safety. And with the Ganesh, she might just be able to work it out.
I mean, personally, I know this might sound really weird to you, but if you're gonna go Charybdis, maybe you go Horse. You know, because both their twos shreds protections, and you can.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I see
No,
where you're
you're fine.
going at here. That does work occasionally, but the problem with Horus and Charybdis is a distinct lack of playstyle unity. Horus is a very aggressive pick. Horus needs to be aggressive early. He needs to be in that lane at level 1 2, and it needs to pop someone levels 1 2. As we just start to see the draft start to go down, Kepri starter for late rotations, and Martichorus for Kappa Corp. Now, I have seen the mid laner for this team play Martichorus before. Wow. They're beautiful.
Yeah, I the only time I've played Marticorus is when he first released, and then after that he was just too broken for me, and I stopped playing him. So I mean, I know they nerfed him quite a bit in some patches ago. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. Should be very very easy for that Marty to get that pressure, but they do ban out the Anhur and Rama, which they don't want that ADC to have any good I guess what's
High pressure pick.
for?
They
Yes.
don't want high pressure unless it's Izanami. Now, Izanami and Charybdis do share quite a storied matchup from my experience.
What is going on? Chunga? That has
That's
to be
Chang'e solo. It has to be Chang'e
absolutely.
solo.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking. Chunga solo is just super annoying. So I wonder what Pepper's gonna choose. Because
If I see
Thor
the
is still
Arachne again,
open.
I'm going to pull someone's hair out, and it won't be mine.
I'm going to be quite annoyed because Arachne would not fit in that comp at all.
No, if anything, I need Pepper to do something that will deal damage. I need solid group AoE damage or AoE control that will allow the carries of this team to prosper.
What would you think of a Camazotz or a Bastet if, you know, both very
So,
hard hitting gods?
the thing I don't like about Camazotz into this specific comp is what in the ever lovin'.
So Thoth solo? Agni mid?
So, I've been around the block for a while, and there was a time when we played nothing but Thoth and Kukulkan and Merlin in ADC. There was a time where that was the case. This is not them. This is not it. This most definitely is not it. In fact, honestly, if this is a Surtur ADC, I would be more inclined to feel good about it. I think if this is an Agni solo Surtur ADC, it could actually turn out extremely potent and decent in terms of their dive, their full-on initiation, especially with Kepri. It's going to be Thoth, and I'm going to be sad, but I can hope.
I mean, rat. Okay, and
He does
to
get the
go
rat.
for the rat. Okay.
So something that I would have preferred to see here, honestly, would have been Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Tsukiyomi, you know, even a Bastet. Bastet can be really annoying to deal with. I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I like playing like Bastet because her ultimate is just a game changer. Just that tick damage, slow damage, and you know, just for the memes go horrific. They're not going anywhere. They're just at a standstill. But that's just for the memes. Obviously, in competitive play, you'll probably never go horrific on a jungle.
No, in fact, actually, if you into this comp in particular, if you were the Bastet on the red side, I would argue that blue team has a better comp. Bastet does really well at trying to find picks, and this team does not want you to find picks.
That is fair. That is fair. So we're gonna see. Kepri is spawning in the middle of the map. Interesting.
Yeah, you know, it's how it always happens. They actually decided to have a full-on 5v5 in the middle of the map. before the game actually started, and I can respect it. That's some Mickey type of gameplay, and I'm here for it at this level.
Yeah, so I'm still shocked at their comp for late rotation. It's just like, is their mental just shot? Do they just not care?
So I think instead of us asking, do they not care? Is their mental shot? Is et cetera, et cetera. We should be asking, how are these teams going to actually play in the late game? Because that is exactly what Blue Team is built around. They are built around a late game team fight type of comp, and it looks like they would decide to pop their shards early for Kappa Corp. I can. It's a hustle. It's a hustle out here.
That's such a mouth slip. I've done that so many times. Or when you accidentally beads and you're just glowing, and your teammates just staring at you, laughing at you, like, "Yep, misclick." I know that feeling.
So occasionally that happens to me with VGS. So I understand completely, and sometimes it's not anything you can do. So I am noticing a bit of a difference in these builds. Surtur deciding to go Death's Toll Mace. If we do not bully this Surtur, I am going to be extremely disappointed in how low our corporation has gone.
Yeah, he has no defense at all. That should just be free for the rat all day.
He had a
And he
carapace
doesn't have a
shard.
recipe. Doesn't have a recipe either. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting from Rat Tackler on the Surtur. Maybe it's something they've scrimmed thoroughly. It isn't. But maybe it is, and it's just something that he's looking to play around in this game.
And did he upgrade his teleport as well?
No, he did not.
Oh, okay. So that's just it looks like it's upgraded.
He does have a Warden Pocket though, which is interesting.
Yeah, I feel like he should more focus on getting all those health like more health potions. Excuse me.
Unfortunately, Fallen trolling Red Pepper, not able to get that level 2 before they end up going to lane.
Yeah, I don't know why even at a competitive level. Wow,
Yeah, we had a bit of a scrap over with Rat Tackler, as the real scrap is happening on this Ganesh. So this is what Thoth does well. He clears the wave faster than other ADCs, and he bullies supports. He has a good amount of CC, good amount of long-range clear and burst. And quite frankly, it's going to be an interesting duo for these teams. The thing I don't like is this Charybdis. I think Charybdis is a questionable pick at best, and a horrible pick at the worst of times.
absolutely no. I totally agree with you. Her ultimate is just pretty much to get out of jail free card. Her ultimate doesn't do anything. It's literally just to be safe.
So, to argue a little bit, Charybdis Ultimate does have a lot of good CC potential, which we did see Red Team use last game. To be certain, they did use it well last game. But my problem is how they plan on having this delay happen, right, with the Charybdis Ultimate. It's always this huge delay for not a lot of reward, which is unfortunate. But Blue Team playing this lane really well.
Yeah, and Charybdis is trying to do that poke damage. Can't really do anything about it. Ooh, he has to dive down, just trying to do as much tick damage as he can. He does get out of the stun.
I think that was Charybdis trying to bait out the dash and trying to conserve health pots. However, at this point, you still have 2 multis and 2 healths. Pop them. You don't need all of those pots.
Oh, wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. I'm not a fan of that. Me personally, I like to go 2 health, 1 multi. Just so I can get that. That's my preference and what I've seen a lot of people do.
So the
So, but
problem is, it depends on how aggressive your lane is. Saving that gold does end up being somewhat helpful. However, I am not the biggest fan of it. At the very least, in the duo lanes I like to play, I like being much more aggressive, and to actually act with that aggression, you need that health sustain. Which is something more to talk about outside of this specific cast. Right? It's just, it depends on how aggressive your duo lane is. For Charybdis, you could get away with it. Charybdis pops and procs Death's Toll extremely potently. She's arguably the best god to have Death's Toll on in the game, with her auto chain and the one. Oh, but we have a bit of a rotation coming in from the Thanatos. As oh my god, it's beautiful.
Thanatos is up in the air, I think,
and is out.
And that's a waste of a Thanatos. So
not quite a waste. They did end up getting the beads off of this Charybdis, which is huge. But yeah, Rat in the air, Rat's looking to dunk down on to the Thanatos, and Thana likely to be killed here. Oh, just kidding. It looks like a beautiful shell and a better ult.
Oh, stuns.
It's a better ult from the Charybdis. The Thoth ends up whiffing hard left on that ultimate. But now Red Team looking to still push up a bit too far here. They're trying to.
I'm not a. Ooh,
they're trying to find some amount of poke, but they really just need to get their team out. And now the ADC looking to try to peel for the support. It doesn't work that way, buddy. Oh.
Yeah, that was a really
now
really
Rat looking around the corner, but manages to have everyone get out. Just kidding. Rat's actually looking at the Thanatos. Haha, idiot, get stunned.
Wow, okay, and he shoots the back. I guess that is a smart decision because it would be a 3v1 and Rat would be dead.
But quite frankly, I'm sorry, you go.
Yeah, but earlier about that Thanatos ult, when he ulted the Charybdis, I can't even think now. I don't understand the ult. I mean, you normally, from my thought process with Thanatos, you just want to ult if you can guarantee a kill, even if they're not in the threshold, or what's the other one?
Do you know the Merc ult and Thoth ult type of gameplay? Where, yes. And even the Thor ult a little bit, where you threaten to do something and it causes the enemy team to act in a way you want them to. Thanatos ult can be used in a very similar way. And as Badger would like to say, it's about mind games sometimes.
That is true.
That being said, I don't think it was a mind game. I think he was honestly trying to wait out the... Oh, I forgot the name of it already. It's been a while since I played Charybdis. The Whirlpool. Right, the Whirlpool form. He's trying to wait that out, trying to see if maybe he could catch them because they did end up popping those beads much earlier. But unfortunately, maybe just realizing, well, I can't really go in. They're already near tower line. It's not worth it for me to do that. And now Loshak going and just absolutely demolishing Surtur here. This is what I would have loved to see. Don't do this on Surtur. Don't do this at home, folks. It's not worth it. It never has been, never will be. It looks like now Rat looking to rotate around for the Rat tackler.
Wow.
And tackle this.
That's a lot of damage. That man barely got out with this. Well, he has like what?
Oh, he has about 400 health. But it is a lot more. Oh, wait, as we have a bit of a scrap going on in mid. But Martacorus being Martacorus, he should be perfectly fine. By the way, I say it every time, I hate this Agni build. As now, oh my god, Pepper just dies.
I didn't even see what happened. Did
Thanatos went up, went down, tried to dive the Agni. When Thanatos went down on the Ratatosker, and
completely misses the one by like a mile.
But I mean, hey, you know, it happens like that sometimes.
even with myself when I play Thanatos, I notice a lot of the times too, I rush the one, and I think at like that's a pretty common thing at like lower levels because I know you
Well,
yourself.
no, it's not just at lower levels, actually. It happens to every player, every skill level. There will be times when you rush. It's how you actually end up bouncing back from that rushed ability that ends up helping you more. I'm an Ull player. I have about 4,500 worshippers on Ull. Sorry, 4,500. So
Well, Aggie just
4,500.
going straight in might get to secure the kill.
Well, not quite. Yep, there it is.
yeah,
But a
oh,
beautiful
there's the
beads ends
beads.
up getting him out,
Oh,
and the stun
Aggie-
wasn't
wow, he
enough,
gets
as
out
now
and
the Ganesh,
Pepper
beautiful.
just returns damage and keeps falling alive. I'm sorry, I was just stunning. I was like, what's going on? Like,
No,
someone.
it's absolutely beautiful. That's exactly how you want your team to act around you having to use your beads. That being said, I think Agni probably was pushed up a bit too far, especially without his Thanatos nearby. If Thanatos was nearby, there's some room for debate, but no Thanatos, no kill. It kind of is how that works out anyway.
And you were talking about this Agni build. You're not a fan of the Sands
So-
of Time into Book of Thoth for Agni?
So here's the problem with Agni. He is a artillery mage. That much is true. That much everyone can agree on. His artillery requires a bit of a different take on the build. I do not like Sands of Time Book of Thoth on Agni. He does do Monstrous Burst. However, I think it delays some of your other items much
Rat-
too quickly, as Rat looking to rotate over towards the Rat Tackler. Tackle this, Rat Tackler. You get tackled by the Rat.
That's what I expected them to do. They probably saw the death toll into the mace, and they were like, "All right, we're focusing solo lane," and he's getting punished for it. He's completely getting punished for his start of build, and I expect him to
Only
keep
dying once, but that once was enough. And as we were talking about the Ogden. I want to beat it into... Oh my god, as Fallen gets a 1v2 kill onto the Thanatos, who tried to dive them under their T1. Beautiful play from Fallen. I imagine what ends up happening is uses the Crypt Assault, gets a stun under tower, and so long, Thanatos. He perhaps went a bit too ham, but oh my god!
He just goodbye, Thoth. That is.
Oh, you hate
Wow.
to see it as the Thoth. Playing into the wave with the Charybdis, it just was never a good time. That's a 1v2 for Fallen, and man, how...
And Thanatos is coming back. Thanatos is coming back.
He's coming back for round 2, baby. Round 2, more like round 3 for Fallen.
Oh my gosh, Fallen just... Okay.
Stay
I don't
out
know.
of my lane, says Fallen. And
Wow.
it proves that you should. You should heed that warning.
And still just... I guess I could see he's just prioritizing farm. Makes sense, but...
Now the red team looking to go on to this Gold Fury. The only thing that could realistically steal it is the Thoth ult. And I expect Rat to go up in the air now looking for this Thoth. But he doesn't find the Thoth, he does find the Agni. Kappa Corp still manages to destroy it.
Well,
That's
Agni
a
health just got
close.
depleted.
That was an extremely close 50-50 from Kappa Corp, but it worked out for him.
I don't know if you saw the Agni's health, but the Agni
Well,
was
we
like,
definitely do.
pretty much full health, and then it was completely gone. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's...
He's about
And Ganesh-
300. We're talking about Agni
Right.
builds, right?
Right. Oh yeah, going back to that.
Yeah,
Right,
going
right.
back to the Agni build. I am much more of a fan of the Darda's school of thought on Agni. He's not your traditional mage. He just isn't, as Capri getting a little bit broke. But his build is Conduit Gem into Chronos Pendant, which those two specific items on Agni work extremely well, especially with Gem of Focus. Agni spams his abilities out quite a bit, and allowing him more maneuverability will always work out for you in the late game. That being said, It's Chronos Pendant, Divine Ruin, because that passive is not the anti-heal, just the passive. Yep, Rat Tackler gets Rat Tackled as Ratatosker manages to get a solo kill onto the Surge.
Because he has no Fizz defense at all.
He has no defense at all.
Well, he does have a tier 2 in magical. Oh, well, he finally
he has a Shogun's Kusari, but he might as well not have that defense. Especially into the 3 physical core of Kappa Corp.
Yeah, I can see why he was doing it, but I mean, at that point, you might as well just probably go. I don't know. I mean, I don't play solo lane. Obviously, I'm an ADC kind of guy, so what do I know? But you know, we'll have to see if he can potentially turn it around.
As a guy that has played quite a few roles, solo being my least favorite, let me tell you, that this is not it, Chief. It is not. The Death Toll starter was a thing that happened at the start of starter's playtime. But
yeah, because when he was released, he was completely, almost not completely broken, but very annoying. Yeah. Now, in your opinion, who's the most broken god that was ever released?
Ever released?
Yeah.
And
I've heard
just my time playing Smite, or of all time?
Both.
Okay, so of all time, I believe it was release Guan Yu. Ended up being technically the most broken god release of all time. However, I hate Bellona. And a Bellona's release still makes me sad. I've been around since about open beta. I don't have the beta avatar, unfortunately, because, you know, I had a life. Don't have one anymore. But,
And there goes Thanatos. Thanatos is goodbye, Thanatos, and that is a free.
You walk up to an assassin, a hunter, and a mage in a corridor. What you do? You die. But
like
Bellona.
A joke.
Bellona is definitely the most annoying release to date, in my opinion. This runner-up would be Tsukiyomi.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like Tsukiyomi would probably be a good contender. I remember when, what was that one Guardian? Cthulhu. When Cthulhu came out,
Cthulhu's release
was annoying and just did a lot of damage.
Cthulhu's release was annoying. However, if we're talking of all time, release Bellona in the state she was released in, by far one of the most potent designed kits of the time. Now, Malman's release, I'd argue, is one of the worst releases in Smite. Now, I don't say that as a slight to Malman Brigitte. I'm saying that as a slight to the Smite player base.
And there goes Dolph.
And Thoth in, Thoth out, because a rat tack will do. That's unfortunate, honestly.
And that's a waste of an ult, in my opinion. I mean, I get what he was trying to do, just trying to secure a kill, but I don't think anybody was low enough for the damage output.
Well, so the Ratatosker did end up getting relatively low, and if there was a rotation from the rest of the team, it could have been a lot of impactful damage. However, Thoth not having the Divine Ruin second means that Chang'e is more than capable of healing their team back up. As now it looks like red team is looking to collapse onto the blue team. As now Rat in the air, Rat looking for someone to land on, lands on the blue buff. Nobody, but the carries wrapped high. The carries were looking for more than they could chew. As now Kappa Corp has to run away. They have to fall back. And heal up because we have a Chang'e.
Khepri looks like he's just
Khepri's alone, but unfortunately it just doesn't quite matter. You know, I'm interested to see why Kappa Corp is not using Relic Dagger.
Oh yeah, because they did buff it recently. You're right. It's like, what, 40 seconds now?
So,
of a cooldown for your relics?
a Relic Dagger gives 40 seconds off of your cooldown. But more importantly, Bracer has a 100-second cooldown and lasts for 90 seconds. Sorry, a 90-second cooldown lasts for about the same 90 seconds. Guess what? You could always have up and have 2 of them up at any given point in time. You could have 2 bracers.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
So, Bracer Relic Dagger meta is my favorite meta. And again, I just got moved to support, right? So, I can say it now that I'm playing it, it's busted. It's broken. It legitimately does so much for you. As it's a 2v1 onto Rat Tackler, he is pushed up too far without a leg to stand on. It's how it happens sometimes, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, this is almost getting out of hand. Like this, I think you were right about game 2. Game 2, Kappa Corp just throwing it down. But Thanatos is trying to get return kill.
What I was imagining was late rotation being the team that tries. Oh my, Loshak goes a bit too hard and unfortunately dies for it. As now the rest of the team looking to group back up and try and get everybody out. But now even Fallen is here, as Kepri is now getting gone on, but Thanatos is wrapping around the corner. Thoth looking for an ultimate, but maybe just trying to scream.
Just saying, hey, back off guys, I got my ultimate.
Just saying, hey, I will kill you.
Or
maybe. I'll probably kill you. Please? I'm surprised that Ganesh is not using the Ohm on the Pyromancer, as late rotations get the Pyromancer because, haha, surprise, surprise, Thoth has the best secure on map.
Ooh, and Thanatos does get the
kill on Rat. Thanatos get a kill on Rat, but a beautiful double stun disengage from the Charybdis should get everyone out. Thanatos decided to land on towards Hunter, but Hunter manages to get out because of Loshak's help. Oh, maybe not, as the tanks are now trying to start.
It looks like,
it just keeps on going. It keeps on going and going.
There is Loshak's death.
Yeah. Wow. It just doesn't stop, and it needs to. Stop.
And this is
reset.
an FG call.
I don't like it from blue team. You don't have Thothult anymore. Oh, Thothult is coming up relatively soon.
They are a little weak. They do have enough HP.
But the problem is they don't have Shred. They don't have enough Shred to actually burn through this Fire Giant. And that's the main problem with blue team. If they get a 5 kill, like a full-on deicide to Kappa Corp, Rat ulted trying to get in towards this Fire Giant fight, but unfortunately, he's a bit too far. But that's fine. He's 40% CDR.
This is true. This is true. It's going to be up fairly quickly.
Solid 45 seconds remaining on that ultimate. But there looks like red team looking for this Gold Fury. And Thanatos trying for the steal.
Goes up in the air.
Thoth. Thoth ult manages to connect with Ganesh, and that gets the kill for Thanatos.
And Thanatos is
the beautiful Kepri ult. Beautiful Kepri ult, but unfortunately, red team a bit smarter than they thought.
What? No way.
As Charybdis gets the ult reset. It's beautiful. And gets the stun onto Kepri too. Haha.
Interesting. I mean, as the jungler, he gets that. I don't know if that was really worth. He's still. I mean, he is the same level.
Well, it was worth now as he managed to get a decent reset in for himself. Right, he manages to get his team back into this game. And now even Surtur, even in XP with Chang'e.
Right, and he was struggling in the early game. Like, he couldn't even play the game. But he was just, you know what, I'm going to be farmer. And, okay, he gets... Okay, I don't even know why you go, what's it called? A recipe now at 22 minutes.
He realized he forgot it, and he wanted to pick it up on his way home, you know?
Yeah.
At this point, it's not a recipe. It's a full-on drive-through type of menu. It looks like Loshak getting gone on by everyone on the team for late rotations. And unfortunately, he just got gone on by too many.
And it seems like there's a... Who's going to get the beacon? It looks like Kepri and Marticris are scrapping for it. They're just kind of toying with each other, just staring at each other.
It looks like Kepri likely to get this beacon as the rest of the team is
up.
trying to do something here.
I don't necessarily agree with that because it was the third beacon. I think Kappa Corp should have fought a little bit. I mean, yeah, they are a 4v5, so I guess it does make sense. Rat is getting punished. He does dash out.
Rat managing to get out. It's perfectly content to just wait for his ult, wait to engage. Thanatos should probably be looked at here, but just some poke to be traded out. That's the standard Marticourse playbook. Poke and then leave. Now, Fallen ended up being level 20 at this point in the game. Beautiful farm from that ADC.
Yeah, and with the 4-0, doing very, very well. Opting not to go crit for Charybdis. What are your... Do you think Charybdis needs to go crit, or kind of like
No.
Ishtar?
No, I think Charybdis has a play on field on what they actually want. Sorry, yeah, Charybdis has a play on field on what they actually want to go, what they want to build. I would like to see a Titan's Bane and a sold Atalanta bow for Odysseus bow.
And both junglers are up in the air looking
As Thana looking to go on to the Ganesh. Oh my god, that's a beautiful, beautiful ultimate from Charybdis. Oh my god, and it was a beautiful ult from Ganesh. Ganesh manages to body block his teammate to avoid the Thothel. Beautiful ultimates all around from our red team.
And Marticris does ult up in the air to stay alive. It looks like there is a wasted Kepri ult because Agni is disengaging.
Oh, no, so no Capriol is wasted when your teammate lives.
That is true. So
Capriol does give movement speed as well as the full-on reset. And that movement speed can be very helpful in getting your teammates out. And if that was the call, that's the call.
Oh,
I hate this Kepri, actually, now. I despise this Kepri. He decided to go Spartan Flag again.
I don't understand it. I don't understand
I mean,
why.
in this game in particular... So Pridwin, 20% CDR infusion on Kepri, never necessarily a bad thing. Would I have preferred the Breastplate of Valor? Yes. Am I getting it? No. But Pridwin, okay. It's okay.
Remember when the upgraded Pridwin, I think it was the red one, was prioritized when they first released the glyph for it. It was pretty strong, especially for solo laners.
Loshak trying to solo the Thanatos, but unfortunately, no solo here, Loshak. There's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it doesn't do enough. I mean, her kit is pretty strong, and she is tanky and still does it very hard, but not hard enough. It just kind of looks like
these are gold plat. This is a gold plat kind of area. To answer a question in chat.
Oh, you know what? I should probably pull up. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, it's a gold plat type of game. Our Kappa Corp team versus late rotations. And so far, it's just a fun Smite night. You know? Honestly, I wouldn't have been upset if Rat Tackler went Cowl this game, come to think of it. Good ult, but unfortunately better Thanatos ult as... Oh my god, Loshak immunes it because how much more did you...
And it looks like they're trying to... Fallen does get the kill. I can't see on who. It looks like it is on Rat.
It is on Surtur.
It looks like Agni was trying to
push
kill.
up. And now Thoth getting gone on by the mid laner.
He does dash out, and Agni is peeling for him. Ganesh is a little low. They could potentially...
Red Pepper trying to wrap around onto the Thanatos.
Oh, and that's
unfortunately, not quite enough.
It's
a huge save and a huge kill.
Ooh.
One auto attack is all you need sometimes.
You were right. Blue team is very, very late team fight dependent. I think, or I can't remember the exact word.
Yeah,
you
so
said,
late
but
game
it
team
seems like
fights are going to be much more beneficial for blue team to take, especially around these objectives. They have the best secure on map, they have 2 large area control mages, and a Thanatos to clean up kills. Now, I didn't expect Surtur to go this type of build, but I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is.
It seems like they're just kind of dancing around Pyro and FG.
So something interesting I want to talk about is this erosion pickup on Ganesh. Why?
What? Does someone have shell?
I mean, there is a shell on Khepri, and Khepri does have a shield built into his passive. But
is it really necessary? I mean, Ganesh isn't gonna be like next to that. What am I trying to say? Words today. I am so sorry, chat. Ganesh isn't gonna be around there to, decrease the benefits of it.
And now Surtur is dying.
Oh, and there goes Surtur.
Goodbye,
Yeah, Surtur,
sweet prince. You will be missed.
This Surtur, he needs a little bit of.
Oh my God! Red Pepper almost dies.
Was it almost to the FG? Was the FG hitting?
If I had to take a guess, it was likely to either Fire Giant, which was hitting the Ganesh after, or it was to a Divine Ruin proc that ended up hitting from one of the mages.
Right.
You know, Thoth being one of the better artillery mages in the game, as well as Agni being a huge artillery CC for this team. It's going to end up being frankly, a hellacious fight for Kappa Corp.
So, do you think that both teams are just waiting for EFG to come up? Because there is 30 seconds. I mean, there's really not much going on. It looks like blue team is going for Gold Fury, potentially?
Potential Gold Fury, perhaps. But honestly, I think if either team stays away from this Fire Giant side for too long, they're going to lose it, and they know it.
Thanatos is up in the
Thanatos
air.
In the air, tries to go onto the rat, ends up missing. Oh, but Loshak whiffs the Chang'e ult, too.
And Rat's going in.
Rat's going in, so is Surtur. Surtur up into the air. And
Rat is
falls
up in the air.
right back down. And Rat just looking to disengage. Wait, no, not quite.
What?
Wait, maybe? Haha, my camps.
I like it. Securing the camps with your ult. I like it.
As Ganesh almost dies.
Very
Fallen
weird
just split
team
pushes.
Yeah, Fallen's just like, alright guys, you guys do your thing, I'm just gonna split push. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, it can be very annoying to see ABC just running down his lane.
So Kappa Corp knows for a fact that currently their team fight is worse. Is Pepper a console player?
Is who?
Red Pepper. Is he a console player?
I'm not entirely sure. That is a very good question. I don't think so. I think everyone on their side is PC. I could be wrong, but Charybdis does not get the.
Unfortunately for
Phoenix,
Thoth, he probably
is
loses
getting annihilated.
Just kidding, because that was a early Aegis. But the rest of the red team pushing up onto blue team's territory. And unfortunately for them, Thanatos in the air, so is Surtur. Surtur gets the knock up, and oh my God, it's better. Or oh no,
Rat does get a kill. Pepper.
Rat does get the return kill on Thoth. But Loshak
so
and
much
the rest
going
of the team
on right now.
Still trying to fight and fight
that's
this out.
a disengage.
And now it's a disengage, looking to reset, heal with Chang'e. They are down a Thanatos, and that means that their objective shred likely going to be lacking. As the rest of blue team looking to try to find either Loshak or Ganesh, and Ganesh getting gone on by everybody from late rotations, and now he's just separated and dead.
And Loshak, Loshak's good.
That's a Thoth ult that ends up clipping. But unfortunately, Rat Tackler dies too. Just kidding. Hi, Khepri. How's it going?
And Agni, does Agni get the kill? Agni does not.
Agni does not get the kill as Charybdis is there with the ult for backup.
Kind of just being annoying, not letting the. All right, that was interesting. I guess he thought they were gonna dive, but okay, interesting.
I mean, they were
But
diving. It just he thought they were
they
going to
kind
dive a
of
little bit farther.
they kind of stopped.
Yeah, they did that a little bit. But both of the carries now back up for Kappa Corp. And we go back to this fire giant.
Oh, and Kappa Corp did eventually get that Phoenix down. I don't know if someone split pushed or minions just went in. I'm not entirely sure. I wish I was paying attention to that.
It was likely minions, as
But I
I believe everyone else was accounted for.
It looked like the minions were at like the tier 2 level. So, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The problem was Fallen did end up getting the red side creeps that would have matched that minion wave. So Kappa Corp would have had an advantage in the creep wave. And when a Phoenix is that low, all it takes is one good push. One good push by the creeps.
And it looked like
to get them.
Rat
Rat is now killing the Thanatos for daring to be nearby. And unfortunately, oh my god!
My gosh!
Oh wait, Rat gets out.
Stunned?
Rat gets
He's
out.
out. He's out.
Oh my
He's out. Just
god!
run,
It's a
Rat.
beautiful
Run.
ult. A beautiful
Wow,
ult
and
from Thoth
Murderous
ends up.
ults
Oh, that's an
and-
alternate timeline. You can have 2 lives, sure, but the third is not going to be there as alternate timeline trolls the Kepriel.
I feel like that's just a troll that going alternate timeline.
Both majors on blue team have gone alternate timeline. As now Surtur in the air, looking to just disengage from the unbridled fury that is Kappa Corp. As now the rest of the Kappa Corp team on the fire giant, looking to burn this down. It's going to be slow, no crit on the ADC to be seen, but good zoning and good enough secure should make this relatively free, as long as they keep the Agni out.
Rat is up in the air.
And Kappa Corp does end up getting the fire giant, as now Agni ends up dying
alternate
to
timeline
Rat.
on the Agni, but it did not save him.
No saves, and almost a deicide from Kappa Corp at 35 minutes into this game with EFG on 5. Just push down left and end. Not
what
quite.
Did they do? Well,
They're waiting for
could-
creeps.
well,
They're waiting for creeps. They're looking to play it slow, play it a little bit more passive. And you know, that would be fine, but they aren't winning these fights. They need to play this faster.
There goes one. There goes one Phoenix. It's
Yeah, 2
blinking, he
Phoenixes
missed
down,
it.
and they're looking for the end here. Ganeshul is on the way. And, Rat
is
trying to 1v1, but unfortunately not quite enough, as the rest of the team now in for... Oh, beautiful play from Kappa Corp to end out this game. Thought a bit too ambitious, trying to get some of that DPS off the Titan, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for late rotations.
And that is a 2-0 victory in with Kappa Corp.
35-44.
Very, very scrappy, much more higher kill count than the first one, I believe.
Yes, I
But
believe you are correct.
They did it. They did do a little bit better towards. I mean, they did have EFG, so that could be a counter. That could be a factor. But I'm not hating what I saw. I mean, the Thanatos couldn't really do anything that much late game. Interesting that he went with that jungle starter upgrade. I personally think the other one's better. I mean, I get it why he did it, but wow, much more wards being placed out. Looks like on both sides.
So do
28
remove about half of them from Hunter. He does have Bracer, but no Relic Dagger. So you know it's still a lot of words.
And Loshak only with 4, so it looks like good thing Ganesh was warding. That's a lot of wards. 28.
I mean, to be
wards.
fair, Loshak didn't need it for the majority of the game. However, the parts he did need those wards, he died. So
So I guess we can argue about that of, you know, any of that kind of stuff. But very weird comp from. I still don't agree. I think they should have went with an ADC. I kind of thought it was kind of weird that they had 2 mages. I think that's. I mean, it
So
didn't
this
really
is
hurt
something that
them.
can work in theory. However, you need your jungler to be on a character that allows for a bit more objective confirm and shred. Mercury, for example, would have been beautiful into this comp. Or Thanatos going the crit build would have also been great for this specific comp from late rotations.
I do like me some Thanatos crit. It does hit really hard.
Especially because on the Kappa Corp team, there weren't any real tanks other than Ganesh, which your mages should be able to take care of. Right? So, with crit Thanatos, being able to shred down objectives, shred all of your carries, shred everything else, that might have just been what cost them the game. That being said, that's in theory. Play on field is what matters the most in Smite, especially at this level, and Kappa Corp just is better play on field for this day.
I absolutely agreed, and it showed, that they are forced to be reckoned with. They can make some weird comp work. I mean, to me, looking at it on paper, the Charybdis was just everything makes sense except for the Charybdis. The
You know,
Charybdis was
honestly, I wouldn't have been disappointed if the Charybdis was instead the Ishtar. However, I wasn't disappointed by the Charybdis either. I think for what it's worth, they played it well. I just am not a fan of the pick right now. I think there are multiple other priority picks that were up and could have done slightly better in their comp with what they had in mind. However, comfort is king, and if the Charybdis is a comfort pick, you gotta hand it to them. They played it well.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And surprising that they let the Ganesh through because the Ganesh was a nuisance last first game. So letting it through again, was a pretty big mistake because that those some of those Ganesh ults were came in pretty clutch.
You know, the Dharmic Pillars being arguably one of the best things about Ganesh, other than the Ohm. Ohm being arguably the best CC ability on a Guardian, period, in my opinion. Right? Constant area protections, as well as a cone silence that just stops quite a few abilities in this game. Makes Ganesh very potent and valuable in the middle of teamfights, and Dharmic Pillars allows for great area control and possible decision making that needs to be had. Oh, am I going to walk through this and take most of my health and damage, or am I going to try to stay in it and fight? Unfortunately for late rotations, perhaps was just all the rotations that were late. Perhaps maybe it was the decision making, perhaps it was play on field, perhaps it was Surtur. There's a lot to be said about it. But what we can say for sure
Absolutely.
is Kappa Corp is 2-0 for this match, and that's going to be it for the cast, more likely than not.
Yeah, thank you for everybody for watching. If you want to join our Discord, the Nightbot is always spamming it, so feel free to join our Discord and, come hang out with us.
Yep, there's at least one channel that's always there, and yes, this was casted Rat Tackler, and don't worry, we bullied you quite a bit for building Surtur the way you did.
Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Ratascular, no problem. It was a good game. Good games all around.
No, it was fun Smite, and that's what matters the most.
Didn't matter. I got counterpicked terribly.
No, it
We,
did. It did, but don't.
yeah.
I'm not too concerned about it one way or the other. Right? It was a fun Smite game to cast, a fun Smite game to watch, and definitely scrappy on both sides. So that's some fun Smite game all around. And that's what matters the most anyway. Win or lose, if you're having a good time, that should be the most important thing. But I think we're
Absolutely.
going to go ahead and get out of here. I have to prepare for a Master Duel tournament that's happening tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. For those of you that are in the Discord, I believe we are still allowing people to sign up for it. Just let Loshak know and get the Yu-Gi-Oh roll for yourself. And I'll maybe see you with those children's card games that may or may not be on motorcycles. We'll have to see. I don't think we have the budget for it, though. Alright, well, goodbye, everybody.